This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Every American deserves the right to fair housing, and Kamala Harris is working to make that right realized by us all. She learned firsthand how hard it is to work toward the dream of having a home. As California's Attorney General, Kamala Harris took on the big banks and Wall Street. And now she's looking to give first-time home buyers $25,000 for a down payment. This November, vote for the leader looking out for your home.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
We kind of glazed over some news surrounding the NHL last week because personally, I just wasn't quite ready to talk about it yet. As many of you probably know by now, one of the NHL's greats, he hasn't officially retired, but he has actually signed a new contract with the World Poker Tour.
Oh,
it's unofficial, but this appears to be the end of his NHL career. This might sound satire, but Phil Kessel is next to Sidney Crosby, by far my favorite hockey player of all time. I really couldn't tell you why, but since he was in Boston at the very beginning of his career, I have just been obsessed with Phil Kessel. The day he got traded to the Penguins was like top 5 happiest days of my entire life. And then watching him get to hoist the Stanley Cup for the first time, probably also up there. Like, I was lucky enough to get to see him do it again the next year. And then he gets his third and final with Vegas in his last year. Even though he didn't play too many games in the playoffs, but like, this is like besides Sid, this is my hockey idol, Joey. You know how much I love Phil and
Philly hot dogs.
Yeah, Philly hot dogs. Probably the most disrespected player in NHL history for zero reason. Toronto media just used to rip the guy, and then he goes to Pittsburgh and wins some cups. So
I was a big fan of him when he was in Toronto because my dad was a huge Toronto Leafs fan.
Yeah,
Maple Leafs fan. So he was always my dad always showed me the highlights in Sports Center the next night. Pretty good.
Yeah, prime Phil was just something else. Like his signature snapshot off the one leg while flying down the wing, top cheese far side is like, just nobody will ever do it like him again. No. Nobody's ever gonna have that build, that diet, and be able to do.
Never. He's actually the last. They're kind of like John Daly in golf. You know what I'm saying? Like the comparison.
Well,
no one's having a hot dog in the intermission,
no.
or having Coke in his water bottle or whatever. Like the rumor. I don't know if any of that confirmed, but
one of my favorite things about Phil is I forget who the player was, but I think it might have been Dion Phaneuf, and he said he gave Dion a piece of advice, and it was don't drink water. Diet Coke's better for you. It's better for you. And so I'm pretty sure it was Diet Coke Phil had in the bottle. Not straight up, but still, not something you see every day.
Cracking open a Coke Zero.
There you go
for the start of the pod, just for Phil Kessel there.
Just a couple quick things I want to mention about Phil. A lot of people might actually not know this, since he was a rookie way back in 2007. But Phil Kessel was actually diagnosed with cancer in December of his rookie season when he was 19 years old. And he ended up going in for surgery. He missed 12 games and then ended up still coming back after that and playing out the rest of the season. And he won the Bill Masterson Trophy, which I believe is usually given to, someone who really battled adversity off the ice and pushed through. So something just remarkable about the start of his career. And then after that, his Ironman streak still yet to be broken. Doubt it ever will be broken. 1,064 straight games in the National Hockey League. Absurd. I think Keith Yandel is the next closest, and he's around 990.
I was going to say Yandel.
Yeah, Tort scratched him when he was 10 games short of 1,000.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
absolutely brutal.
Classic Torts.
Good coach.
Like Babcock scratching Medano.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil Kessel, I don't even really know what to say about him. Like he was everything to me as a hockey fan. So I just
Do you have
want to
his
start
jersey?
this. Of course I do. Oh yeah, I do.
Do you? Is it a
Oh
Pens
yeah.
jersey or a? Yeah,
Oh
you got a
yeah.
Pens
Yeah.
jersey, right?
Yeah.
Is it the black
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. Black and gold. Black and gold.
Black one with the yellow writing, eh?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
It is so beautiful. But yeah, so I just wanted to go on a my quick little rant about one of my favorite players of all time.
Hall of Famer.
That is a good question. Obviously, in my eyes, he's a Hall of Famer all day. I mean,
Three-time champ.
1,064 games, 3-time champ, 1,064 games straight. And then beyond that, I mean, he has an Olympic silver.
Icon.
He won World Juniors under 18 gold. Like I mentioned, the Masterson Trophy. He won the best forward at the Olympics one year in 2014 in Sochi. I believe that might just be for Team USA. I don't know if it's for the whole Olympics. I'm actually going to double check that. No, yeah, Olympic All-Star team, Olympic best forward, and led the Olympics in points.
That's
I didn't even know
that was the last Olympics too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the last one in Sochi. I didn't even know that about Phil. So just like when you think about Hall of Famers, I think some people need to remember it's not the National Hockey League Hall of Fame, it's the Hockey Hall of Fame. So those international achievements really like help propel that. And I mean, he's won at pretty much every level. Dominated in college for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and just if it's over like it appears to be, what a career. And just thank you for for Phil, for everything you've done for me and everything you've done for
Phil
the
the
game
Thrill.
of hockey. Phil,
Yep.
the fucking thrill, baby.
Contemplating going to heat up the oven right now, but throw a frozen pizza in there. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 16. We're actually on episode 16, man.
Yeah, dude, we're on episode 16.
We're flying. We're flying through it. Yeah, episode 16 of the Jungle Hockey Podcast, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm here with beautiful Mr. Owen Elson. How are we doing?
We're doing good, Joey. I appreciate the
That's good,
compliment.
man.
How are you? How are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm good, man. You been busy or what?
Oh yeah, buddy. It's been an absolute grind. I mean, the school chilled out. All the midterms. I'm just getting all the midterm marks back now.
How'd you
Did
do?
better than usual. Not having
Okay.
hockey honestly makes such a difference for me. Like just with time. Was pretty disappointed with one of them, but the other ones were pretty good. So we're looking good for this semester. Actually, the GPA.
Are we talking about that on air or are we not?
Oh, let's not. It was bad. One of them was kind of bad, but it's okay. We're gonna get through it. I'll do better on the next one. Already, yeah, we're setting it up. We're figuring it out.
All right.
But yeah, dude, how about you? I mean, Halloween season at a university, that must be pretty crazy right now.
Oh yeah, we're going to There's like this Halloween, this haunted house. That's what it's called. That's what word I was looking for. This haunted house we're going to. I think it's Thursday night or Friday night
On Halloween. Well, Halloween's Thursday.
I think
but-
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween's Thursday, which is kind of dust because it's like it's right in the middle. But
Yeah.
I think this weekend's gonna be like the celebration weekend, which is good.
Yeah.
Went and picked up my costume. I showed you already.
Yes, sir.
We'll see it in the interview maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be interesting. Went to Chicago last weekend.
Yeah. Finally.
First time
How
on a
was it?
sleeper bus. The sleeper bus was an absolute circus, man. I swear to God, it
In
was
a good
like
way or a bad way? Both.
the first. I feel like it was just because it was my first time on there. I didn't really know what to expect. It's like literally, it's like a slumber party with a hockey team. Like it's like everyone's sleeping. It's like the bus has like, if you walk in and then on both sides, it's like the length of a twin bed. On both sides, it's triple stacked.
Yeah.
So it's like I crawl in. I make sure I got the top because the top is like right beside the air conditioner, and I'm like I'm a hot
nice.
sleeper.
Yeah.
I'm a hot sleeper,
that's
so I like to
crucial.
sleep in the cold. Got about on the way over there. I probably didn't get a lick of sleep, dude. Like it was actually bad. Like I think my Apple Watch said I had an hour and a half,
Oh, dude, that's
sleep.
brutal.
and then so we get there. We get to Chicago at like 8 a.m. And we have pregame skate at 9, and all I want to do is just go to sleep. Like I'm half asleep on the it's probably the worst skate of my life. It was it was a shit show.
That sounds like me when
The
I
boys
went
are
to
like
my.
shooting at my head. But fucking this one guy, like I wasn't in the net, thank God. He hit Sweeter in the head, but he hit Sweeter in the head like 3 times. So Sweeter was getting pissed. I've never seen Sweeter actually chirp someone in practice before, but yeah, he was getting hit in the head and shit because the boys couldn't aim the puck.
Dude, that
So I
reminds me
had
of
one.
when I went to the UK and then had to come back and go straight onto the ice for my first junior camp.
Yeah, you're just like half asleep. You're like
Yeah.
you're moving at like 20 frames per second. Like you can't fucking
No,
process what's going on.
it's brutal with no sleep, dude. That's insane. So what are you planning on then for the future? Like how are you gonna get in your sleep on these sleeper buses? Like how often you guys got to take
Well,
these?
so this particular one is the only one we got to take to Chicago, and we got to take it to Tuscaloosa when we go to Alabama.
Oh wow, okay.
Um, the other like we go to Grand Rapids the weekend after, but
Mhm.
coach the team we play is really good, and coach bought like the expensive bus,
Oh, there you go.
with, like the you see the seats in like first class,
Yeah,
like on the plane.
on a
Like
plane,
they
yeah.
got seats, like 2 seats of those next to each other, lay back, and like a recliner, and you're like just chilling.
Beauty.
Like cooling seats, like massage seats if you turn it on or whatever. I think I haven't actually like seen it. So
Drury's going all in,
it's
eh?
all yeah, but the fucking sleeper bus was a shithole. So we go from the worst to the best. But no, some of the boys were saying they like the sleeper out. I don't know.
Oh
I thought it
wow.
was overrated.
Interesting. Well,
I
how
thought
the
it was
actual
overrated.
games go? I mean, I haven't actually talked to you much since you guys finally got ranked. I don't even know if we talked about that, but you were ranked 23 in the
Oh yeah.
top 25 poll the last time we talked. I don't know if we mentioned it, but how the
Yeah.
games go on this weekend? Like, what are you guys looking like?
So we played. Okay. Before I tell you the scoreline, we played. So we're ranked. The new rankings came out today by this other podcast, actually, this podcast that covers the ACHA,
Oh, okay.
and they ranked us at 19.
Okay.
And the team we played. There's only 67 D1 teams.
Mhm.
The team we played was ranked 63rd. So I want you to guess the scoreline
Oh, dude.
before you.
Who was it? Can I ask who it was?
It's called Roosevelt University in Chicago.
Roosevelt University in Chicago, and they were ranked 66. You guys were ranked 23. You're probably going to be ranked in the top 20
We
next
were 19.
on
We were
that other
19
one.
in this. It's kind of like a magazine or like
Right.
a news thing, but not the computer. The computer rankings come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. I was just looking right now. It's from 6 days ago. So okay. Well, I don't know. I'll go. Let's say the first game I'll go 12 Buzz, and the second one I'll go 8-1.
You're actually close. We went 10-1, 12-1.
Oh, dude, that was really close. That was
You were
good.
actually really close, bro. But yeah,
Wow.
we were plus 20 goal difference on the weekend, so it was point night.
I mean, and you guys just been climbing all year. I mean, as far as it goes by just straight up record, I mean, you're probably in the top five.
I think we're 7-1.
7-1, and there's a couple other teams that have similar records, but I
There's a
don't think
couple Jamestown's undefeated still.
right. Jamestown, they're ranked second.
I think they got first on the this new ranking that hasn't come out before.
Okay, and then
And then,
there's Adrian College,
I
Ohio University.
yeah, I think Jamestown will be one when the new rankings come out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think UNLV looks nasty too. Hey,
It's so cool
UNLV,
too, like
it's
going there.
sick, dude. Did you see
Yeah.
about that like I don't really know what it's called. I guess marketing campaign they did for their new jerseys. It got posted everywhere. It was like they had
Yeah.
like six guys
Yeah.
sitting around the poker table in full gear with their jerseys. It was so nasty.
They got so many fucking cool media things that I
It's
wish
so
we did.
cool. Well, I mean, it's a
Like, I wish we
massive
did.
it's a massive D1 school for most things, right? So
Well,
like
yeah,
they just
that's
pour
true.
all this extra money into their hockey that a lot of other like smaller ACHA schools probably don't have. So it's allowed them to
Yeah.
build like a sick ACHA program. I actually know Dylan Ford. He's from Maple Ridge. Used to play for the Northeast Chiefs, and I think he played in Golden in the KI for a bit too. I know he's on UNLV. Because I
They
see
play like
him.
any NCAA D1 teams, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like an exhibition. I
They
think I
played
saw them
like
play
they beat
Denver
Anchorage.
last year.
They beat Anchorage.
Beat
Or no, they beat Fairbanks. One of
Fairbanks.
the
Okay,
Alaska
okay.
teams, the shit one.
I know SFU beat one of them a while ago too.
SFU beat SFU beat Fairbanks as well, I think.
It's interesting. I mean, have you been following much of the other college hockey, like the D1 stuff at all? I mean, Abram.
I was just seeing Weber sniped.
Weber
BU
goal.
BU got worked, dude.
Well, yeah, the first game. So yeah, first game. BU played North Dakota, probably the biggest games in college hockey last weekend. We haven't really talked much college hockey, but it's just getting started. I think teams have only really played like 6 to 8 games. So
Yeah, NCAA is just starting.
yeah, our boy Abram Weeb out of Mission, BC, goal and an assist against number 3 ranked BU as a D-man. And then an assist the next day again in the 4-3 loss. So Weber's point per game right now in D1. How crazy is that, dude? Like,
so good, man.
looking
Such
at
a
where
good
he
hockey
was
player.
6 years ago and looking at where he is now is just mind-boggling. So obviously, Abram, if you listen, we're rooting for you, buddy. We're super excited to see where you keep going, and obviously we're thrilled for you with the success you've had so far. But any other college hockey you paid much attention? I know Maine beat Quinnipiac twice. That was a bit surprising. But
I saw
haven't seen
like
a ton else.
Holy Cross beat UConn. Like
Okay.
some weird upsets.
Oh wow, interesting. Well, yeah, I think we'll probably get into talking a little more college hockey when the season ramps up a bit, and I think we'll every once in a while we'll touch on that. We'll touch on the ACHA like we just did. Probably some CHL, and maybe once in a while we'll talk about some European leagues and stuff. So, but besides that, Joe, before we get into the NHL, you want to get into our jungle recap?
Oh yeah, we're over the KI here. Sorry, I got to pull up the website.
Oh, it's all good. I'll kick it off with the Pidge actually, buddy, because
yeah, sure, go for it.
Last week we recorded the week before we recorded a day late, I think, or something. So the Pidge's new 3 stars were out, but last week when we recorded, it was like the day before the 3 stars came out. So these are technically the 3 stars from October 14th to 21st in the Pidge. But the 3rd star, Ty Balchin, had a hat trick and 2 assists in only 1 game. Marcus Jack on Poco just continuing to light the league up. 4 goals, 4 assists in 2 games for 8 points. Then the 1st star of the week, Teo Lin, the captain of the Richmond Sockeyes, 4 goals, 4 assists in 3 games played. So just the stars of the week last week. As for the standings, dude, as for the Pidge, dude, Chilliwack is so nasty. Did you see that clip I posted of Lachlan Staniforth's goal?
No, I gotta look it up.
It's just on the pod on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll look.
Yeah, Lachlan Staniforth, he's actually from Mission as well. Kelowna Rockets draft pick, started the year in Kelowna, and then
I trained with him in the summer.
Yeah, he just got reassigned to the Chilliwack Jets. Dude, he had an unreal. It was a back check, took the puck, skates behind his own net, all the way down to the other end, splits the D and slides it in 5-hole. So nasty goal there. Chilliwack looks so good. I can't believe I'm going to say this, dude. I think the next time they play Ridge, it's going to be an absolute war. Like Chilliwack could get it done against them. As crazy as that sounds, in my eyes,
oh my god,
those are the top 2 teams in the league, 100%. Ridge and Chilliwack, and then it's like the top 3 in the Tom Shaw, Richmond, Delta, White Rock. Then there's a little gap before you get to Poco, and then another little gap, and then you got like Abbey, Coastal. But yeah, as for the standings themselves, I mean, Ridge and Chilliwack. Chilliwack's in first right now, 16-1. Ridge is in second, they're 13-1. So Ridge just has 3 less games played, 6 points back. Abbey is in third, they're 8-7-2. Langley's in fourth, 9-11, and there's a huge gap. Mission and Surrey neck and neck there. Mission's got a game at hand and is ahead by 1 point. Aldergrove still winless. Honestly, I want to mention this quick, dude. Like, I feel so bad for the kids in Aldi right now. Like, it's. I think the score lines are like worse than when Surrey was winless, like when they first joined the league.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Surrey was losing every single game like 12-0 like this, dude. Like, I know all these coaches are super young. Braden Hallman, I believe, is their coach, and I played against Hallman when he played for Aldi. And he's a great guy, and I'm sure he's doing the best he can in Aldi. But as far as the team right now, it's a struggle, and I really feel for the guys that are there, and I mean, historically, Aldi's usually been a pretty good team. They got a great facility, so I really hope that they're able to turn things around soon, because you don't want to see a team just getting blown out all year long like this. And with having the young staff that they have, I think they really care a lot about the team and about the future. So I hope that Aldi can bounce back next year. But as for the Tom Shaw Conference, like I said, Richmond in first, Delta in second, White Rock in third. White Rock has the best win percentage, points percentage though. Out of those three, it's really tight. Just comes down to games played. Poco's lost a couple games recently. I believe they lost to Chilliwack, and I forget the other one, but they lost to somebody else recently too, and that's caused them to slip a little bit in the standings. They had games at hand, but they lost them. So, but they still got a decent gap on Coastal, who's 7-6, 1-1, or well, I guess that's 7-6 and 2. Shootout losses and overtime losses are the same. And then Grandview, just getting absolutely carried by their goalies. I want to give another shout out to Ronan Garrity. He played in the WHL for a bit. I believe he was second star of the week last week. Just been lights out. Like, he's doing what Max did for Mission last year for Grandview. Like, they beat White Rock, I think 2-1 or 1-0 the other night. Like, he's just, and I think the shots were like 57-25 for White Rock. Like, Garrity just standing on his head. He's been absolutely unbelievable for Grandview, and realistically, he's been giving them a chance every night. And yeah, sorry, that game against White Rock, it was a 2-1 overtime win for Grandview, and Garrity stopped 56 of 57. So, what a goalie! I mean, I remember, I think he was on Grandview when he was 17 before he played in the Dub, and even then, he was just nasty. So I'm not surprised to see what he's doing. But he's in Grandview right now. So maybe that's a guy you see getting moved to a contender at the deadline that makes them just an absolute wagon to play against. As for the stat leaders, like, again, not a lot's really changed at the top. It's the same, guys, the order of guys is switching, but for the most part, I mean, Zach LaGrange leads the league, 37 points in 14 games. Matteo Schoberg in second with 33 points in 18 games. He plays for Delta. And then Richmond as Nicholas Noren, 32 points in 17 games. We got Nolan Bauscher and Theo Cochin, LaGrange's line mates. Cochin looks like he hasn't played in a while. Still only 10 games played, but 29 points. Still leading the league in points per game. And then Marcus Jack right up there still with 29 points in 15 games, just under 2 points per game. And then just ahead of him last week's first star, Teo Lin, with 30 points in 16 games. Besides that, it's all the same guys that it's been all year. It really hasn't changed. Ty Balchin, actually, on Port Moody, has moved into the top 20 with after that 5-point night. He's got 22 points in 15 games. Connor Hughes on Port Moody, 24 points in 14 games, and Colin Jang with 25 points in 15 games. So Port Moody has a sick first line. It's just they have no depth throughout their roster. Like, they got a couple pieces, but just no depth throughout their roster. Former Edmonton Oil King Braden Wynn, defenseman with 20 points in 15 games for Poco. Jacob Lowen, 21 points in 13 games for Ridge as a defenseman. Keegan Bankier on White Rock, still like just throwing up the points. 22 points in 16 games as a D-man, leading the team still. And then Lucas Ravenstein, he's been up there all year, 25 points in 14 games. Ridge is captain. He's a great defenseman. So, again, a little bit more separation in the standings. I think we're really starting to see which teams are really serious this year. I think there's maximum 6 teams with any chance at winning. I don't see anyone outside of the top 6 with even remotely close of a chance in a 7-game series against these teams. So pretty predictable like it has been, but lots going on, and we're not even halfway. Well, Langley's almost halfway. They got 20 games played. Holy. But we're not even halfway. So lots can still change, and the December 10th roster size deadline coming up soon. So we'll see if there's some movement there before the final trade deadline in January, buddy.
Is there? I forgot about that, actually.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal for because you got to cut down, right?
Yeah, you got to cut down to
25.
I think it's 25. Yeah, and then
January
23
in January.
Yeah,
that's just so brutal, man. Fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. It sucks because every year you kind of like you kind of know who's on their way out, and a lot of the time
they're just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, a lot of the time, and they know too. A lot of the time, and they're usually sometimes you've been with these guys for half a year and, kind of building relationships, and then all of a sudden they're gone. And, so that part's always shitty, but at the end of the day, that's just part of the business. That's how it goes. And, so you want to get us into the KI, bud?
Yeah. Matthew Langdon had 6 goals in 2 games in the KIJHL. Like, that's just
That's that guy in
unbelievable.
Princeton, right?
Yeah. The guy
Oh,
that
my goodness.
was saying, the guy that I did not expect to do as well as he's doing, but he's backing it up. He's doing real well. Golden gets the defenseman, Brandon Spilchen, had 4 points in 3 games. And then Connor Stojan, my pick to win the goalie of the year in the KI this year, stopped 74-77 in 2 games, went 2-0.
Damn.
And then I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but we do the power rankings. So in the past 10 games, it's like who has the best record.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Princeton at number 1, they're 9-1. Kimberly, did you see that trade?
Was it the Hager trade?
Yeah, the Hager
Josh
trade.
Hager from Quesnel?
The Josh Hager trade from Quesnel. I think it's going to make Kimberly very scary.
Yeah, Hager's good.
I think it's a very good trade for Kimbo. I think it's exactly what they needed. I know Hags really, because Hager was in Revy last year.
Yeah.
Like, we traded for him and everything, and then it didn't end up working out. But I think he's for 04 as far as 04 goalies go in that league, he's I wouldn't say as good as Stojan, but he's still really solid. Like, he's enough to make Kimberly, like, he's going to do real well in Kimberly. And like, I think this will be like the first time he's played in like a team with good structure, because he played on North Oak. And then I actually don't know how good where was he? Quesnel?
Yeah.
Quesnel's at the bottom.
It's been pretty
They're
rough
not very
for Quesnel
good
so far. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think playing a team like Kimbo, who's second in the power rankings, they're 8-1-1 in their last 10, is a huge trade. But we'll be looking following him and seeing how it goes. But Beaver Valley. So these are like all the teams that I said were the solid, right?
Yeah.
Beaver Valley is 7-2-1 in their last 10. Revelstoke 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're kind of turning things around. And then Grand Forks rounding out the top 5, 6-3-1. And then Merritt, Creston, and Sycamoose are also tied with a 6.650 win percentage. But they didn't crack the top 5 because of the tiebreaker or whatever. But yeah, we got Kimbo is actually playing Columbia Valley right now as we speak.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Revy only had 1 game on the weekend. This was Saturday. I'm going to go back to Friday's results. Golden beat Spokane. Fernie absolutely cranked Williams Lake 9-1. Sycamoose beat Hunter Mile 3-1. Hunter Mile had a tough weekend. They didn't pick up a win. Princeton beat Kelowna 6-2. Fowl I don't know what's going on with Fowl in Kelowna. Maybe Kelowna's just not that good. But yeah, I don't think settled in too well. Who else we got? We got Fernie with back-to-back 9-1 wins on the weekend. Taylor Haggerty's putting up 1,000,000 points. We'll get to that. Columbia Valley beat Spokane 10-1. And a couple other... Kimberly beats Williams Lake as well. And yeah, Columbia Valley beat Quesnel 6-3 on Saturday. Princeton beat Sycamoose 7-2. That was a really shocking result. I'm not going to lie. Princeton absolutely smoked the shit out of Sycamoose 7-2. Grand Forks beat Nelson 6-3. Beaver Valley beat Chase 3-0. And Creston beat Williams Lake 6-4. And Quesnel got a win against Golden 6-4. So the standings have kind of stayed relatively the same. Nelson's kind of chilled out a little bit. They're Grand Forks and Beaver Valley, like I predicted, kind of were going to run that division. They're currently 3 points behind the top, so they're sitting in third. In the Eddie Mountain division, that's Kimberly's division. Kimbo's been on a tear right now. They're 10-2, 10-2-1, like I said before.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Picture what it would be like if Trump wins and implements his Project 2025 agenda. For your auntie, mother, or daughter to lose the right to make tough healthcare decisions to save her life. For the overtime pay so many depend on to vanish. For police to be shielded from accountability for racial profiling. If Trump's Project 2025 agenda goes into play, you will pay the heavy price to find out.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouthwatering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Columbia Valley is the next closest team. They're 8-4, and then Creston 7-7 with 15 games played. Fernie 5-2 with 9 games played. 5-2, 1-1 with 9 games played. So they're picking up some games here and looking to climb the standings. And then we move to the west side of the conference. Princeton is absolutely running away with the division, which kind of sucks for Revelstoke. And Merritt is currently in second. You'll like that, Owen.
Oh, yeah.
They also have 3 games in hand on Revelstoke on the same point total.
Dude, they have been absolutely rolling lately.
Yeah,
Wes has those guys in gear right now, dude. Wes has been so hyped about it, too. It's awesome.
They're playing well. Yeah, I always see Wes posting on his story and stuff. He's pumped up. Yeah, Revelstoke's in third, but like I said, their win percentage is much higher. And then Sycamoose drops down to fourth, but the difference between sixth and second in that division is 4 points. So it's a very tough, very close division. Yeah, Merritt and Revelstoke are tied on 16, and then last place is Kelowna Chiefs. They're 5-4 with 12 points. So it's very, very close in the Bill Olhausen division. And then Doug Burks is the Hunter Mile House Wranglers are 7-1, and they're first in the division. Kamloops is 7-7 as well on 14 points. The Chase Heat have a few games in hand, so they're looking to climb up the standings here. They're 5-4-2 with they have a winning record. So, wow. And then obviously the bottom feeders, Quesnel and Williams Lake, make up the bottom. We'll go to the statistics here. Matthew Langdon is on an absolute tear, Owen. I've never seen anyone put up numbers like this.
Really?
Yeah, 27 points in 13 games.
McKay.
That's PJ numbers.
Oh,
that's PJ numbers.
Gosh, dude. That's absurd.
Yeah. As an 04, he's a 20-year-old, but still. And then not even that far behind him, 22 and 13, Levi Astil on Grand Forks as well. And then we see our first rookie, third in the standings, 19 points in 15 games for Berkeley Gross on Creston Valley. And fourth is Liam Monroe. I think that's Oz's buddy, isn't it? From Cranbrook? Oh, no, it's not.
Couldn't tell you.
Never mind. I thought I remember him. Remember bringing him up. With 19 and 15 in 15 games, Riley Langill 19 and 13 on Kimberly.
Ew.
And then I always got to mention Taylor Haggerty because he's operating at the highest points per game, but Fernie just has no games played.
Yeah.
So he's got 19 points in 9 games, which is really good as well.
Yeah, that's filthy.
Over 2 points per game for him in the KI is hard to keep up. Tristan Wheels fallen off a little bit. He's bound to 12th on the list, which is surprising. He'll be back up though. He'll be back. Yeah. Don't doubt that for a second here. But yeah, I would think I went over the scores and the rankings there. So that's pretty much it for the KI recap. Other than the Hager trade, I don't think there was anything else major coming out of the league this week. Unless you heard of anything.
Nah, buddy, I'm ready to throw it over to the VI quick. As for the scoring leaders, Carson Brown still just on fire. 19 goals and 11 assists in 14 games for 30 points. And then we got the Port Alberni rookies, Sean Richards and Liam Smith, both with 26 points in 18 games. Their line mate, Grayson Salmon, falling down to 10th in the league in points with 20, but only 14 games played for him. Brody Lindahl on Nanaimo's got 25 points in 13 games. Jacob Morrison on Kerry Park, I'm assuming he's Carson Brown's line mate, has 25 points in 14 games. And then, Joe, I just noticed this in the VI standings. Kerry Park has a new player. Okay.
Who is it?
And just wait for this, dude. So I played against this guy in the Pidge. I think he was 16 when he played for North Van, and he was pretty good on North Van as a 16-year-old. Then I think he played for Port Moody when he was 17, and he was the captain. And then I believe he ended up moving on to the OJHL for a couple years. And then I just saw that he was supposed to be back in Port Moody, where he had most recently played, but it looks like he's moved on to Kerry Park. So this guy, the guy I'm talking about, his name's Joby Pearson. And Joe, he's on the front page in the VI stats, and he's only played 6 games. He has 17 points in 6 games, operating at a 2.83 point per game clip right now, dude. And he came back and played for Pomo. 5 games played, 0 goals, 2 assists. And now he has 17 points in 6 games in the VI. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but this guy absolutely lighting it up since he got to Kerry Park. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Joey Pearson. Those numbers are absolutely absurd. And by the looks of it, dude, like Kerry Park's top line looks like they are just dominant. After that first that slow start for the first 4 to 6 games or whatever it was, they are just on fire. Also in Kerry Park now, Joey, our boy James Veach has ended up heading over there for Comox. So he's in Kerry Park now too. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
What's going on in Comox?
As for the standings in the league, like we've said all year, the VI is looking super predictable this year for the 8 playoff teams. Campbell River and Port Alberni still fighting for that North Division first spot. Campbell River's ahead right now. Both teams have 18 games played. Campbell River's got 27 points. Port Alberni has 24. Nanaimo's in third. Only 14 games played, though, so they might actually be able to make a push to win that division there. Then we got Comox in fourth, 7-8-2, and then a big gap, and then we got Cowichan and Oceanside just as bottom feeders. In the South Division, same thing. 2 teams duking it out for the top spot, Peninsula and West Shore. In third, Kerry Park, a few games at hand. And I think by the end of the year, we will definitely see Kerry Park fighting with those 2 for the top spot in the division. Victoria's around 500, same record as Comox, and then Saanich's is a bottom feeder. So, I think we can, again, like always, predict the 8 teams in the VI that are going to be in the playoffs, and it's looking like there's 6 that are also pretty far ahead, same as in the Pidge. So we'll see how that all ends up playing out. But between those 6 teams, it looks like it's going to be really competitive. There's no clear 1 or 2 teams that are way ahead of everyone in this league. So that's good to see the parity, among those top 6 or so teams. But I mean, we're as always doing what we can to cover the VI, and it's actually been kind of cool getting to look at the VI and pay a little more attention to it, because I realistically haven't in the past. So it's been fun covering the VI, but something we wanted to mix in here is we're going to give some junior award predictions.
Yeah.
So I can lead us off with a pitch here. We're going to be doing MVP, Defenseman of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Goalie of the Year. And then, Joe, I don't know if they have this award in the KI if you want to do it, but I'm going to do a Most Improved Player for the pitch too, because I know that's what we do every year.
Okay.
So I'll just rattle these off quick. So for the PJHL, for the league MVP, I think Mateo Schoberg's probably going to win it. He's putting up the same numbers as the guys on Ridge are, and he's doing it, with not quite as strong of a team. He's scoring, I think, at the best goal per game rate in the league, besides maybe Cochin, but he's been hurt for a while now. So I'm going to go with Schoberg there because of that. For defenseman of the year, I think like it's a no-brainer that right now it's Keegan Bankier. He's just been carrying White Rock. And, I mean, Ravenstein, Lowen are both sick on Ridge. I think Lowen won it either last year or 2 years ago.
I think it was last year.
Last year sounds right. So, Lowen's won it before, but what Bankier is doing in White Rock is just absurd right now. For the goalie of the year, I mean, we were talking about him earlier, Ronan Garrity. The guy's just been lights out, and if he gets traded at the deadline or something to a contender, he's going to be so nasty. For the most improved player that I'm going to do quick is my pick is Rhett Sias from Abbotsford. So Joe, I'm just going to give you this guy's stat lines from his career quick. So when he was 16 years old, so obviously I played against him, 22 games played, 1 goal. I remember the goal. It was against us, and I think it bounced off of 3 players. Like he barely, like it went off his skate, hit 2 other people, and went in. So basically nothing in his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Last year, 10 points in 40 games.
Wow.
Not bad. Like not great, but not awful for a 17-year-old in his second year in the league. Dude, so he had 5 goals, 5 assists last year.
No, I say wow because I see him on the list here.
Yeah. Sorry, I got you. 5 goals, 5 assists in 40 games. This year, in 16 games played, he has 11 goals already, 6 more than his previous career high, 6 assists. Again, not crazy, but already past his career high of 5, 17 points in 16 games, 7 points past his career best. And he's only played 16 games, and last year he played 40. So when you're looking for a most improved candidate, I mean, that's pretty apparent right there, like the numbers good for Rhett Sias. He's been great for Abbey this year, and there's a few guys on Abbey honestly that I could have put for this. I think Cody Johnston is his line mate, who was I believe a 16-year-old last year, and he's been sick this year for Abbey too. And then Hudson coach, I think Joe, do you remember Camden? Yep. Camden Coach, yeah, he played. He was Abbotsford's captain last year. I think he's at GCU in the ACHA right now. He's also had a great year so far. He was decent last year, but I think he's already like also hit his like career high in points. So,
man, Rhett really doubled his total goal. Oh, almost doubled his total goals in 16 games. Already.
Yeah, total goals. So from his first 2 years, he already doubled his career high. For rookie of the year, I'm going to go with Lucas Davidson on North Van. The guy's played 14 games. He's got 24 points. He's been lights out for, a North Van team that's been a little bit weaker than we've typically seen. However, they've been playing a lot better lately. They put up 7 in the first period against Abbotsford the other night. Ended up beating them 9-6. It ended up being kind of close. And then Davidson's got Andrew Castellato playing with him, and Castellato's a nasty 20 bomb. So I think Davidson, along with getting to play with Castellato all year, is going to really allow him to keep producing. And his numbers so far, he's over a goal per game. He's been insane. So Lucas Davidson in the Wolfpack is my pick for rookie of the year. Joey, let's hear your KI predictions, bud.
All right, I got them written down here. This will fire them off real quick. MVP, I think, was in the mix for MVP last year as an 04. It's going to be either Tristan Wheel again, which I don't think they'll do, because in the division there's another powerhouse in Fernie. Taylor Haggerty, I think, is probably the front runner for the KI MVP. I thought he was, for most valuable player for his team, the team that he was on when we played Fernie in the finals, he was the guy we zoned in on the most, because he was the number one guy to look out for. He runs their whole offense. He runs their power play. He's operating at the highest points per game. Obviously, I said that Fernie hasn't played as many games. Yeah, I think if he stays at the same pace which he's historically gone at, there's no reason why he wouldn't win MVP again. At least be in the mix. And then obviously my backup is Tristan Wheel, who kind of fell off a little bit this week. He hasn't really thrown up as many points as he has been usually. But yeah, we don't do most improved player, so I didn't do that one, by the way.
That's fine.
Moving on to defenseman of the year. I picked Nick Hughes, I think. Nick Hughes, an 04. He right now he's at 17 points in 13 games on Kimberly. He's their quarterback of the power play. Him and Wheel on the same power play was really good last year in Cyclone. I think I'm 99% sure that he ran the power play last year with Wheel at Cyclone. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, I think he's a really solid defenseman. That means two major awards going in that same division says something a lot as well about the strength of that. The Fernie, Kimbo, and what is it? Columbia Valley division. Yeah, and then my goalie of the year, I've kind of said already a bunch of times, Connor Stojan on Beaver Valley.
Yeah.
I think he's leading the league in save percentage right now with a 944, which is just made up. That's Kuchaslo numbers. His goals against isn't quite as good as mine used to be, but I also played on Revelstoke, so
defensive hockey.
Yeah, exactly. Blake Sittler, if he doesn't win it this year, he'll win it next year. If he stays in the KI. His numbers are pretty good. I don't know if he's not playing as many games as Stojan, and I feel like Stojan is more crucial for Beaver Valley's success. He's got a 944 and a 204. No, that's Kuchaslo. That's pretty close, actually.
That's nuts.
944 and a 204 goals against average. So that's pretty similar to what I had actually at the end of the year. I think it was a 932 last year, and then the under 2 goals against. But how many shutouts do you have? Only one so far, but he'll rack them up. I think Stojan probably runs away with this eventually. Princeton is really hot right now. They've always been a solid team, but I don't know if Princeton can keep up the success that they've been having. But and then what was it? Rookie of the year. So rookie of the year for me, just to mix it up. He's not leading rookie. He's third in rookie scoring right now, I think. Third in rookie scoring, yeah. He's got 16 points in 15 games, but it's the team that he plays on. I'm really impressed with the fact that he's on 100 Mile. Jaden Rushnack.
Yeah.
The guy that I was talking about a
Nasty
little bit.
Start this year, yeah.
Really good start so far. And then I don't know if they'll take this into consideration, but there's an 08 on Williams Lake.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Asher Lucas. He's an 08, and he has 16 points in 12 games for Williams Lake as a double underager.
Oh, yeah, that's insane.
Unbelievable. So I think if he keeps up that pace at that age, why wouldn't you give it to him?
Yeah, I took age into consideration a little bit with my rookie of the year picks too. Like if it's going to be close, like you're going to go with the younger guy. It just makes sense.
Okay, then maybe I'll take Asher Lucas on Williams Lake. There, he's got 16 points in 12 games, 8 goals and 8 assists. Yeah, and then Rushnack, I feel like might be more consistent. Maybe throw up just as many points. Berkeley Gross right now is leading the rookie scoring race right now, 19 and 15. But yeah, I think I don't know. I just have a good feeling. I had a good feeling about Rushnack because I want to have 100 Mile take that division. I think that would be amazing for the league if 100 Mile won the Doug Burks.
Yeah,
after all years of Revy, I just remember some of the games we had against those.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Every American deserves the right to fair housing, and Kamala Harris is working to make that right realized by us all. She learned firsthand how hard it is to work toward the dream of having a home. As California's Attorney General, Kamala Harris took on the big banks and Wall Street. And now she's looking to give first-time homebuyers $25,000 for a down payment. This November, vote for the leader looking out for your home.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
Guys, it makes you want to cheer for them, especially over Kamloops.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my picks. Hold on. Let's see if I can fire off a quick most improved player.
Yeah, sure. If you can.
Let's go Matthew Langdon. Fuck it. Let's go Matthew Langdon.
Fair enough, dude.
He was absolute. I didn't even notice him. No offense. Like, I'm not trying to insult him at all.
No, obviously not. You're pumping his tires, dude. I don't think he's going to be offended.
He had last year he had 18 games played. He had 16 points.
Yeah, started in the MJ. Okay, I see.
This year he has 13 games played and he has 27 points. So it's just fucking insane how many points he's put up. He didn't even do that well in the playoffs. He had 15 points in 18 games last year, and this year is just taken off, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, those numbers are still good, but it's not like a guy you're expecting to be MVP. So I think it actually kind of makes sense for him to be most improved, honestly.
Be in the mix for MVP. I should actually throw him in the mix for MVP. I just don't know if he's going to keep it up. I just don't know.
Fair enough. All right, dude. Well, I'm good to get us into our I did my own VI predictions. If you want to do your own too, you can. But my VIJHL MVP. We've been talking about him quite a bit. Carson Brown on Kerry Park, like we've said, 30 points in 14 games, 19 goals in 14 games, and that was after a slow start. Just a no-brainer in my mind. I mean, his line mate Joby Pearson with 17 points in 6 games might catch up to him, but it looks like Pearson's just been assisting all his goals. So I'm going to go with Carson Brown, especially because of those goals totals. The next closest guy only has 15, and he's got 19. So that's pretty insane from him. As for D-Man of the year, this one was kind of hard because, like we've talked about, in the VI, there's not really any standout defensemen stat-wise. So the one I ended up going with is Joe Maranzino on Peninsula, who's actually he's listed as a rookie. I feel like he played elsewhere, like in the States or something. I don't think he's 05.
Oh, okay.
But 5 goals and 10 assists in 16 games, 15 points. I think there is one other D-man with a better points per game, but I think he has only 1 goal and all assists, whereas Maranzino has 5 goals. So I think it's a little more impactful when your D are scoring as well and not just picking up secondary assists to make their stats look better. Not that that's what the other guys are doing by any means, but I just think that it makes Maranzino look a little more impactful so far. For Rookie of the Year, this one's a tough one because the 3 frontrunner candidates play on a line together. That's Sean Richards, Liam Smith, and Grayson Salmon. I'm going to go with Liam Smith. The reason for that, him and Richards have the exact same amount of points in the exact same amount of games. Smith's a year younger. That's the only reason I'm going with Smith. And then their other line mate, Grayson Salmon, 20 points. He has 4 less games played, so his point per game is actually the exact same. But just because he's missed those games, I'm just going to assume that Smith ends up with a few more points. And so my Rookie of the Year pick for the VIJHL is Liam Smith on Port Alberni. And then to finish it off here, the last one, the Goalie of the Year. If you look at the numbers, the top 2 goalies are both only played 5 or 6 games when you look at the save percentage. So I assume that they've been splitting and they're probably going to keep splitting. So I'm going to go with a guy who looks like a bona fide starter here, and Darian Fesser on Nanaimo, a 923 save percentage and 11 starts so far. Obviously, he's been huge for them. Campbell Rivers goalie Caden Serpa also could be another good choice, but I think just because of how good his team is, he's going to have to put up really, really strong numbers compared to a guy like Fesser on Nanaimo to win the award. But that being said, that's pretty much all we got for our award predictions. So we'll see how those end up panning out by the end of the year. But it'll definitely be interesting It's kind of weird picking awards for the leagues we used to play in the year before. I've never really done anything like this. So
we're retired, bro. We're out of it.
Exactly. Well, I think that's a pretty good junior hockey recap, Joey.
Owen, I remember my first hockey game. The excitement of watching hockey live. The chill of the ice and the slam of a full NHL hockey player slamming against the boards. It was just nothing like it. I remember me and you going to the outdoor game at the Heritage Classic in Vancouver there. I also remember, Brock Besser almost tearing the roof off the building when if he would have scored a third goal to get a hat trick. We watched the Canucks win a couple times, which was pretty sweet. Well, I want to introduce you to a ticketing service called Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes it getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. My personal experience, I was just looking at the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Broncos this Sunday. They had a whole bunch going on, but I love how they sort all your tickets into the deals called Super, and then they even have the cheapest tickets or whatever you need. This app really surprised me by showing me, they had this one seats for like $120 off. It was pretty insane and it weren't upper bowl either. There was like in the middle by the sideline. It was pretty sweet. Customize your spot. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. All-in pricing. Toggling this feature allows total upfront, no surprise fees at checkout. You can even get your seat view with a panoramic view from the seat and the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee, or Game Time, will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right, Owen, the quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 2024-2025 season. Get in on all the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple, like picking a team to win. Just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bets. I was looking at the lines. Of course, the Canucks are favored, minus 205 against the Flames, because the Flames are, they're the Flames. So, bet maybe take that one. Or we also got, the Oil. Or we could bet the Canucks to win the Stanley Cup as well, plus 1,800. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
We were planning on having an interview today, but due to some scheduling issues, we weren't able to get it done last minute. But no worries there. We kind of sucks because we do have like literally a wait list of guys we're waiting to interview right now. But things happen, so it didn't work out today, and that's no problem. It was kind of nice for me and Joey to just have a little internal here. Well, let's get into just going around the NHL for a little bit here. It's gonna be nice not to just be previewing, to get to actually talk about what's been going on in the league. I mean, it's crazy. We're the season's in full swing right now, and there's been, as always in the NHL, some pretty big surprises so far, as well as a lot of expectations that have been met, whether they were on low expectations or high expectations. But is there any team, player, anything about the NHL that really jumps out that you want to talk about first?
Who lost for the first? Winnipeg lost for the first time. They were trying to go 9-0, but the Maple Leafs throw 5 past Hellebuck.
Yep,
they got the job done. 5. I think it was 5-4. They almost came back, dude. Kyle Connor had a hattie.
Yeah, it was crazy. They fought hard. Kyle Connor was. I think it was 2 goals, 2 assists. Still.
Yeah, he got discredited for one of the goals. I think he got tipped in front or something.
But yeah, what a game for him. And yeah, just dude, Winnipeg. I mean, I don't think we've really talked too much about them, but they deserve their props. I mean, they were the last undefeated team in the NHL, 8-0-0. I mean, Joe, I think we both had them as a wild card team. So nobody was really expecting this start from them. Glad we had them in the playoffs. I almost had them out for Seattle. So
yeah.
Glad.
I think I had them top 3. Didn't I have them top in that? I had top 3 in that division. Or did I have them 4?
Well, we'd have to have another look, but we'll get the predictions out soon. And then we can check them throughout the year and see how each of us are doing. But One thing I did want to quickly mention, I hate Jacob Trouba. I like always. I'm the first person to criticize and just trash Jacob
Chirp him.
Trouba. However, he threw a hit the other night, and people were losing their minds online, saying how dirty it was. He's back to it. I completely disagree.
Really?
It was a completely clean.
Really? I didn't even see the clip.
It was on Justin Barron on Montreal, but it was like as Trouba went for the hit, Barron crouched down, and then it was literally shoulder was the direct point of contact. Yeah, it ended up hitting him in the head, but Barron crouched. It was so weird. It like absolutely nothing Jacob Trouba could have done there, and like I'm the first guy to criticize him. That was a clean hit all day, and just
it's because he leaned. It's because he was leaning forward.
I know,
It
but
looked like he hit his head, but no, yeah. Oh, and then he scrapped. Does he scrap? Yeah, he does scrap, eh?
yeah, somebody goes
Matheson.
down, but yeah, like that's a clean hit in my books. And I mean, since I brought them up, the New York Rangers have been a wagon so far, Joe. I mean, I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
That's true.
One of the
Been a
best,
Jad.
one of the best win percentages in the NHL. Artemi Panarin has been just setting the league on fire, along with a couple other Russians all at the top of the stats so far. But let's keep it in the Metro quick. The New York Islanders, dude, these guys fucking suck.
They're bad.
Like, they're brutal. Just still so boring. Noah Dobson looks lost right now. The guy couldn't I don't even know if he's like going to be able to learn defense. He looks that lost out there in his own end. Like he is brutal. He's like world class offensively, but his defense is just so bad. The Isles are so
Just can't string a
bad,
pass
so
together.
boring. I think this is finally the year the Isles start to fall off, and shit, it's going to get bad there because they got an old shitty core. They got no prospects. I hate the Isles too, so I don't really care, but not the worst team in the Metro. Pittsburgh has been pathetic. Absolutely
How bad is Tristan
pathetic.
Jarry?
Tristan Jarry's in the minors. I don't know. They need to do something. It's just, dude, I don't even know how to describe it. The defense has been atrocious. Erik Karlsson's been horrible. Letang's been
Worse than the
horrible.
Flyers?
Worse than the Flyers, dude. And I think they're losing 5-2 to Minnesota right now. Like,
Oh my god.
they lost 5-3. Yeah, they lost 5-3 to Minnesota. So just
brutal.
pathetic. I don't even really know what to say. They need to. I think Mike Sullivan's going to get fired tonight after this loss, if not tomorrow morning. He'll get fired tomorrow morning. They won't fire him tonight. But if they don't fire him, it's like I'm not saying it's entirely his fault, but at some point something's got to change. And this has been 3 years of this bullshit. And then before this, it was a first round exit for like 6 years in a row, 5 years in a row, whatever the hell it was. So I think Pens fans, you know what? Pretty tough for us to complain right now. We have been probably the most blessed fan base in the NHL for the past 20 years. So I'm not going to complain at all about Crosby, Malkin, etc. Malkin has been insane. He's been a beast. Sid doesn't look like himself. Something's just not right with him right now.
Do you think the age is catching up to him, or?
I don't think it's the age. I think there's just something. I don't know. He might be fighting an injury, or honestly,
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, his line mates, like, I think he played on a line with Malkin today. Like, they put him on Malkin on his wing.
Really?
Because they were so desperate. Brian Russ got hurt last game, so now they're without him too. Everyone's hurt. Everyone's playing like shit. We're right up against the cap. We have too many like anchors. Like Ryan Graves is terrible. Tristan Jarry, like we've said. And ironically, our bottom 9 hasn't been that bad this year, or our bottom 6, which was our biggest issue the last 2 years. And our power play hasn't been that bad.
You're on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, we started okay.
11 games into the season. Like,
Sully's got to go, right?
I think maybe give him a game or two more. A lot of it's been Jarry's fault. He's been brutal.
Dude, Jarry hasn't played in like 6 games.
6 games? Really? I thought it was like 3 games he's been down in the minors.
Jarry's last game was again.
I swear I was watching him play like last. They could not have played 6 games by the time.
Jarry's last game was against like Buffalo when he allowed 2 goals on 5. That was October 16th. It's the 29th.
Wow.
Jarry hasn't played since. It was that bad. You know what? We actually played okay against the Canucks, but fuck, we had a 2-0 lead in the first and we blew it. Like, it's just, I don't want to talk about the Pens anymore.
The Canucks have been coming. We'll get to the Canucks, but the Canucks have been coming back.
We'll get to the Canucks.
A
The
lot.
Pens have been brutal. Want to give a quick shout out to Justin Kirkland on the Calgary Flames. I believe he's a 27-year-old rookie. So just a guy who has absolutely grinded his entire life to get where he is. I absolutely love when we get to see like stories like this. But like just a guy who just grinded his entire life. Like he played 7 games for Anaheim in 2022, 2 games for Arizona last year, and in 8 games for Calgary this year, he's got 4 points. And the reason I first kind of recognized him this year, he had the shootout winner against the Penguins a week or 2 ago when the Flames beat them. So talk about just an unbelievable story about a guy who grinded. I mean, he was in the coast in Cincinnati for a bit and then just worked his way up through the minors to finally get where he is now. So good for Justin Kirkland. Always happy to see things like that. Pretty sure he also had to deal with some pretty severe head trauma earlier on in his career. He had some bad injuries. So you just love to see it, right?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the cool stories coming up, grinding all the way up to the pros. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's the best. You love to see it. We'll keep it in the Pacific. The Oilers looked like they were going to take on Carolina and then blew a quick lead and ended up losing that one. And then they got worked by Columbus.
McJesus got hurt.
And they lost 6-1 to Columbus. So if I was an Oilers fan, I'd be a little bit worried right now. I wouldn't have been worried at first, but with McDavid down in a 6-1 loss to Columbus, oh boy.
All the Oilers fans are always like, yeah, we started bad last year. It'll be good. And I'm just like, you just can't rely on that, man.
No, and Zach Hyman is still invisible on the stat sheet. I think he has one assist in 10. Nope, 1 assist in 9 or 10 games.
That's brutal. Didn't he have 50 last year or 40?
Dude, I think he had like 56. He almost had 60.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's absurd. But yeah, it's just not bouncing in off his stick so far this year like it did last year.
How bad are the Sharks? At least you're not a Sharks fan.
They had a crazy comeback. Utah is looking like shit lately.
Yeah, I know. Like Utah, the most entertaining team, is not entertaining anymore. They're losing.
It was quick, and that was probably a little premature for me to have them in the playoffs. I think you did too, though, didn't you?
No, I went Stars, Jets, Wild, Avs.
You didn't have the Wild.
Didn't I go Preds? I had the Preds in the playoffs, didn't I?
You had the Preds, but you didn't have the Wild, dude. You had Utah.
Did I not have the Wild?
Nah, you had Utah.
Oh, I might have snuck Utah. Yeah, that's because Utah bandwagon.
I know. We both hopped on the
bandwagon.
I'm
such a bandwagoner. Such a bandwagon way too early, too.
Minnesota, like, that's another team who's been rolling so far. I did not expect Kirill.
I didn't think Gustafsson was going to do this good in net. He's so good in net.
True. He's been sick. And then just dollar bill Kirill has been lights out. I'm pretty sure he's actually, after the game today against Pittsburgh, he had another 3 points. Pretty sure he's leading the NHL in points right now. I believe that puts him ahead of Mark Stone for the league lead. So pretty crazy stuff in Minnesota, and sucks to see Utah sliding, but hopefully they can bounce back a bit.
The Preds figured it out a little bit. I saw they beat Tampa Bay.
They've been getting better. I think they lost to Tampa Bay, no?
Didn't they? Well, they were up.
They lost in overtime, dude.
Oh, they fucking blew it. Never mind.
No. Tampa had a 2-0 lead. Nashville tied it, and then Tampa won in overtime.
I thought Nashville was up. Never mind.
No.
Never mind.
No, yeah, you're good. Mark Stone scored again tonight, so maybe he's still tied for league lead there with the Kaprizov. I'm not 100% sure. And then Colorado finally starting to look like they're doing better, and then they lose 5-2 to Chicago tonight, and they're 5-6 now. So not the best start from them, but they started 0-4, so they're bouncing back. They're starting to get pieces slowly, injected back into the lineup. Some of these guys who have been injured. Ross Colton was day-to-day. He's back. I believe Jonathan Duran is supposed to be back soon. And then obviously we're all still waiting to hear what's going to happen with Landeskog and Nichushkin. Nichushkin was on the Jumbotron at a KHL game a few weeks ago.
Oh, come on.
No, he's in Colorado now. He's in Colorado now. It's okay.
Okay. I thought he was fucking around.
Yeah, that was crazy. And that Colorado loss was to Chicago yesterday, and so was the Stone goal. So that's Kaprizov should be ahead of Stone.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Picture what it would be like if Trump wins and implements his Project 2025 agenda. For your auntie, mother, or daughter to lose the right to make tough healthcare decisions to save her life. For the overtime pay so many depend on to vanish. For police to be shielded from accountability for racial profiling. If Trump's Project 2025 agenda goes into play, you will pay the heavy price to find out.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
And Colorado's 5-5, not 5-6.
How about the Kings?
The Kings, I mean, have you seen the teams they've played?
Yeah, they played Dusters, but still, they're second in the Pacific.
They're second in the Pacific, but they played Buffalo, who's been horrible.
Yeah,
they played the Sharks twice, the Ducks. They got spanked by Vegas, beat Utah, got spanked by the Leafs. So I mean, every time they played a good team, they haven't done very well. Bruins beat them in OT, I guess, but I still think LA is going to finish towards the bottom. Like, I think they're just having a good start because of their schedule. I will say, Andre Kopitar has been an absolute dog. The guy just doesn't age, so they're okay there with their first line center for a while. Couple other things. Ottawa Senators, they're in last, but they're 4-4. You see the score of their game right now?
No,
they're beating St. Louis 8-1. Tim Stützle has 4 points.
Oh my god!
So
they lost. Yeah, wow.
I actually still like my Ottawa making the playoffs pick. I'm still high on this team. I think they might be able to sneak in. Are there any other major storylines or teams around the league?
The Bruins being second last in the div, I feel like, but also the Atlantic's a fucking logjam right now.
Yeah, it is, but Boston's just, they look out of it. They don't accept. We need to shout out their fourth line. Have you seen what their fourth line's been doing?
No, actually.
Dude, so Boston's fourth line of Cole Koepke, John Beecher, and Mark Kastelik. Joe, have you heard of any of those three?
No, I have not.
Okay, so
maybe Beecher. I've heard of Beecher.
Beecher was a first-round pick, so fair enough. But Boston's stats right now, so Pasta's in first. He's not even point per game. Then Cole Koepke has 7 points in 9 games. John Beecher has 6, and Mark Kastelik has 6, and those are their top scorers. It's Pasta and their fourth line. So shout out to Kastelik, Beecher, and Koepke, just a force of a fourth line. They've just been dominant. I know they were outscoring the opponents 9-0 so far in the year. I think they've allowed 1 or 2 now, but they have a combined between them 8 goals or something. So they've been unreal so far, and plus the goals on the ice for that D-man or whoever else have scored. So Boston's fourth line has been definitely their only bright spot because the rest of the team looks like shit. And I don't think Swayman is he even playing?
No, he's been playing.
He's been
He's been dust.
Yeah, so he just hasn't been that great. I should have probably put Tampa making the playoffs instead of Boston this year. I was between those two to see which team was going to fall out. I said Tampa, but they're looking pretty solid. So, 6-3. So it looks like I should have chose Boston, but it's not always that easy to predict, and still a lot of season left.
I mean, yeah, we say Swayman's bad, but he hasn't even been that bad. To be honest,
not bad, but he hasn't been himself. He hasn't been playoffs.
No, he's an above 9. He's a 9. He's at 297 goals against, 900 save percent. So extremely average numbers for the amount of money he's getting paid.
Yeah, maybe I would argue below average for save percentage at least.
Yeah, save percent 900 is bare minimum.
Yeah, it's for sure. You want to talk Canucks a bit?
Yeah, we could talk Canucks.
Talk Canucks.
Finish off the NHL here.
Yeah, I think we've covered most of the NHL. Oh, real quick, one more thing I want to throw in. Detroit fucking sucks. They're so bad, but Simon Edmondson looks filthy so far. So
they're fourth in the Atlantic.
Fourth in the Atlantic, but they've only beat mid teams, I think.
It's also 1 point separating fourth from eighth.
They lost to Buffalo. Oh, they beat New Jersey and Nashville. They lost to the Rangers twice. Lost to Buffalo. Yeah, they're just mid, dude. I don't think they're a playoff team.
Mediocre.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's. I think that's pretty good for most of the NHL. If we missed anything, honestly, please let us know. Let us know what you want to cover. If we haven't been covering a certain team, a certain player, or we just missed something big that we should have talked about, let us know, please. We want to give you guys what you want to hear realistically. So anything like that, don't be afraid to reach out. Let us know. We want any feedback we can get. So, Joey, how have the Canucks been doing?
I saw me and Penner, so my roommate Penman, the North Van kid. So we watched the Canucks games together. They were down 3-1 last night. They came back overtime. Then fucking Gauss Despair made a sick pass into I think it was Aho in front of the net and tucked it away. Lankinen looks unbelievable for a backup goalie.
Man, he's been great.
Like saving grace, kind of. I thought we would be fine with Seelovs, but nope.
Nope. He's been rough.
He's been kind of rough. What are we? We're third in the Pacific right now.
Only 8 games played, too. We're one of the better records.
Yeah, I think we have the least amount of GPs in the league, or at least tied.
Tied for it, yeah.
Oh no, the Capitals have only played 7.
They're playing right now, though.
But yeah, they're playing right now. The overtime losses kind of stink. 3 overtime losses already.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. That's three goals, and you're 7-1 instead of 4-1-3.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They'll be right up there with Vegas. Yeah, I think still a playoff team.
Pedersen finally scores an even strength goal. You think he's been looking better lately?
I know, that was huge. Me and Penner were freaking out.
That was huge. He's looked better in my eyes. I think he's been playing like
skating better.
He's not himself still. And actually, I saw a post saying that NHL Edge, that they call it advanced analytics, but it's like speed, like player speed and stuff. It's not real advanced analytics. I was seeing that like all his like at skating and agility numbers are down, and people are saying they think it looks like he's favoring one leg over the other. So maybe still a little bit of a lingering minor injury, but if it is, it looks like it's something he's going to have to figure out how to play through, because same thing in playoffs last year. And although he's been better, we still need to see a lot more out of him for what he's getting paid and just for what they expect from him. He needs to be that number one center and an absolute core piece of that team, or the Canucks, even if they get into the playoffs, they're not going to be able to go on a real run without him.
I think early prediction, the Canucks are going to trade for Josh Anderson on the Flames.
Well, Josh Anderson isn't on the Flames.
No, wait, Josh Anderson. What the fuck am I
Rasmus.
saying? Rasmus Anderson. Why am I saying Josh Anderson?
Dude, hang on. Just give me one sec. When you said Josh Anderson, I was like, what the... Okay, Rasmus Anderson. I completely agree.
Anderson on the Flames.
Completely agree.
I think the Canucks are going to pick him up, and Brewer is going to hate it that I'm saying this, because the Flames
Levi
fucking love. Yeah, they fucking love Rasmus Anderson.
He's so good.
They think he's the Norris favorite. He's so good.
He is right now, probably. He's insane.
Give him Hronek.
Oh man, could you imagine if we could move off of Hronek and get Anderson? That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I still think Hronek's value is there.
He's fucking terrible.
He hasn't been good, but I feel...
Who am I to call an NHL player terrible? Obviously, I'm talking like comparatively to the rest of the NHL, by the way. But like for what he's making, and he's just not. Yeah, that's all I mean. Like I'm not saying he's actually a bad hockey player or anything. Just so everyone knows.
Hronek in a first. Hronek in a first for Anderson.
I would be so down. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Do you think Flames would do that?
No. Well, I don't know if they were smart. No, but maybe. But I've been seeing the rumors about Anderson already. Like he's just such a perfect fit, and he's Swedish too, which the Canucks love their Swedes.
Yeah.
I don't think Calgary wants to trade us another player like with Lindholm last year, but hey, you never know. Maybe we can see a crazy trade. Maybe we can get Kuzmenko back too. Reignite Petey.
Anderson and Kuzmenko for Hronek, Myers, and a third. That's the type of shit that I'm saying. That's why the Flames fans hate me.
No shit, dude. But
me and Penner just come up with mock trades like that.
Dude, I will say Kuzmenko's been pretty good so far this year. He got 7 points in 9 games. So
yeah, Talkett just hates him, man. There's just no way they'll reacquire him.
They never should have traded him. It was just not the right move. But anyways, buddy, I think that's a pretty good NHL hockey recap. Let's get into some jungle sports quickly, starting off with the World Series. how have you been feeling watching two of your
Wait, what's
least
the
favorite
score?
teams duel it out? Yeah, we got to see the score right now. Game 4 right now. If you don't know, the LA Dodgers have been
5-4
dominant.
still.
5-4. The LA Dodgers have been absolutely dominant so far. Holy shit, Freddie Freeman hit a home run again.
Just now?
No, earlier. He's 4
Oh,
home runs in 4 games in the World Series. 2 of them grand slams.
World Series MVP.
Oh my! He's gonna get it if they lose, dude. This is insane. So just quick shout out to Canadian baseball legend Freddie Freeman carrying the Dodgers to a 3-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th right now, 5-4 Yankees. It's going to be tight, but we'll see if the Dodgers get the sweep. Shohei dislocated his shoulder, but he's still playing. Joe, what did you think when you saw that highlight?
He actually impressed me a little bit. I'm not a very big Shohei fan, but he impressed me a little bit with that, like pushing through that injury. That's probably pretty painful.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I couldn't pronounce the word that they said, but basically his shoulder popped out and popped back in really quickly.
Yeah.
But the shoulder injuries, dude. They're not good.
No, I don't. I do not want to. I don't want to talk about shoulder injuries, Dan. Fuck. But yeah, it's been such a sick world, dude. And I will say, last night the Dodgers got robbed of a run. There was a terrible call, like review and everything. Most clear catcher interference I've ever seen. And I think he was still safe without the catcher interference, and they called him out. So I think the MLB wants the Yankees to win pretty bad, even though it's looking like the Dodgers are going to take it.
It's just better for the league if it doesn't get. It's not a sweep.
Yeah, the Yankees can suck. The Yankees suck, and I can't wait to see the Dodgers finish off the sweep tonight and see Mookie Betts lift that World Series trophy again. Anything else on
I
the
can't wait to
baseball
see the
talk?
Yankees complete a Edmonton Oilers style comeback.
6-4 Yankees.
Is it actually?
Austin Wells just hit a solo home run. 6-4 Yankees, bottom of the 6th. Yep.
Bang.
So there's something.
Looks like the Yankees are going to force Game 5.
Yeah, maybe it won't be a sweep, but well, I think if that's it for baseball, I got to give a shout out to Jonathan David. What this guy has been doing. If you're not familiar, Jonathan David, he's a Team Canada striker for their men's national soccer team. He plays for Lille in the French league, and Lille made the Champions League this year. In the 2 games, Lille played him at Champions League last. It was either a week or 2 weeks ago now. Jonathan David scored against Real Madrid, and they beat them, which is absurd for a team like Lille to beat Real Madrid. Everyone knows Real Madrid. And then a few days later, David scores twice, and they beat Atletico Madrid 3-1. So Lille is one of the top teams in Champions League right now, and I don't even know if they're top 5 on the table in the French league. So unbelievable. They probably are top 5, but unbelievable performances from them. Being led by a Canadian, Jonathan David, is pretty unbelievable. I think he's the first. I can't remember the stat. It was either the first Canadian to score like 2 Champions League goals or score a Champions League goal against Real Madrid or something like that. It was some crazy stat. So congratulations to Jonathan David. That's just, you love to see it for Canadian soccer. Another quick Canadian soccer thing I'll throw in. Alistair Johnson got to captain Celtic the other day in the Scottish Premier League, which seems like nothing to everyone, but that's a huge deal for Canadian soccer, getting to captain a historic team like Celtic. So that was another just really cool thing to see when it came to soccer. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to the soccer talk, Joe?
Man United's manager got the buzzed. That was pretty fun, which is kind of shitty though. It's kind of shitty because they're gonna have a new manager for Sunday, and Chelsea play United on Sunday, so I'm kind of worried.
I wouldn't be worried about new manager's first game, dude.
You got to be worried about that because the players are always wanting to play really well for the new manager.
I guess, dude, but morale's just so low. Like, they're in 14th place right now, which is just unheard of and unacceptable.
I actually love it. I love watching United lose. We actually have that in common, at least.
It's the best thing ever. There's nothing sweeter. I hope Chelsea beats them 6-0 on Sunday. And I hope Cole Palmer
Sunday, Sunday, I think it's Sunday. I gotta look it up.
It's either Saturday or Sunday, but
they play Newcastle tomorrow. They play Sunday 10:30. I don't know. I'm loving Chelsea right now, though. I'm
They've been
really
great,
happy
dude.
with
They're
how we've
looking
been doing.
good. They're looking good.
Really happy with how we've been doing.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a tough stretch right now. Newcastle, United, and then Arsenal
Ooh,
in
yeah, that's
3 in a
tough.
row here.
That's tough.
And we already beat. Who did we play the other day that we beat? It's a big win. What the fuck? Why can't I think of it? They beat. Oh no, they lost to Liverpool 2-1. That's the game I was
Right.
talking about.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Yeah, and then we beat Newcastle on Sunday.
Real
in
quick.
the league, and then we have them in the cup.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, Carabao. Yeah. Real quick, dude. I think we got to talk about this Ballon d'Or situation a little bit. Have you been keeping up with this?
Oh yeah, how Madrid didn't send anyone there.
Yeah. So, again, real quick. I know it's not hockey. We're just finishing up here. So, the Ballon d'Or awarded to the best soccer player in the world every year. I believe it's based on the previous calendar year, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Messi, Leo Messi, obviously the previous winner. This year, it's been announced for I think a couple weeks that Vinny Jr. on Real Madrid was going to win the award. It came out the day of the ceremony that Vinny Jr. was not going to be winning the award, and apparently there was like 300 people from Brazil supposed to fly out for some party in Paris. The whole Real Madrid team was supposed to go, and they ended up entirely boycotting the event, saying it was a political decision and that Vinny got robbed, where I would have had Vinny 3 or 4 in my personal rankings. Like, I think it's just absolutely childish, absolutely classless for a club like Real Madrid to boycott that event when half their team was supposed to be there for one reason or another. It's just, honestly, it's disgraceful. And I think it's pathetic and a horrible look for the team, for every single player on the team. Like, with the way his teammates and Real Madrid have been posting and talking about this, you would think he died. It's a joke, the way that they're talking about this.
Yeah.
And it's honestly just disgraceful. I think they've turned the entire world against them when it comes to soccer over the past week. And it makes that 4-0 loss to Barcelona the other day just that much sweeter. So I hope Real Madrid just gets every bit of bad karma thrown at them they can. I hope that they just have the most atrocious future ever. It's pathetic. And doing something like that where you're boycotting an event just because your player didn't win, fair and square,
it's kind of nuts.
Is just
embarrassing. The best part is Ancelotti won best. Ancelotti, their coach, won best coach, and wasn't there to collect his award.
And Jude Bellingham, I think, came 3rd in Ballon d'Or voting and wasn't there. Like, it just Carvajal, I think, came 4th. He wasn't there.
I thought the whole point of the fucking award was to not know and then go and figure it out.
It is.
Why the fuck are you supposed to know like before?
It just gets leaked, dude, and then people, like, I don't know. It's just the journalism, the way shit is these days with that stuff. But I think that's enough of a rant about soccer and how pathetic Real Madrid is. But yeah, dude. Any other sports talk you want to go over here?
We talked about MLB. Basketball's kind of started, but I don't love basketball. The Raptors suck.
I got one thing. Yeah, here I actually just have one thing I wanted to say about the Raptors quick for basketball, and that's it. And then I'm pretty much done. Scotty Barnes isn't that guy, unfortunately.
No, he's
I
not.
Wish he was, but Scotty is either a number 2 or 3 on a championship team. He is not a number 1 option. He is not that guy. The Raptors need to tank, and they need Cooper Flagg. If you don't know who Cooper Flagg is, look up this guy's highlight reel. He's insane.
Do you think they have a chance? I feel like they're too good to come last in the league.
I don't think so. They're
Detroit
rough,
is just so bad.
I know, but the lottery in the NBA seems pretty like a little more random than other leagues.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we'll see what shakes down there. But yeah, the Raptors look like shit. So when the Raptors are bad, I'm usually not that interested in the NBA.
Oh, same. I'm not really into the NBA right now. I saw Thompson absolutely destroyed it in his first game for Dallas. Everyone was still bringing up the elimination game chirp, but
yeah,
that's pretty much it for basketball.
Yeah, man.
I don't really think go into it too much.
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about at all here before we wrap up this episode?
Nah, bro. I'm just pumped. I can't wait to see our rank tomorrow.
I
think by the time this comes out, you guys will probably have reposted it already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Picture what it would be like if Trump wins and implements his Project 2025 agenda. For your auntie, mother, or daughter to lose the right to make tough healthcare decisions to save her life. For the overtime pay so many depend on to vanish. For police to be shielded from accountability for racial profiling. If Trump's Project 2025 agenda goes into play, you will pay the heavy price to find out.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
For sure.
Yeah, just fired up for another off weekend this weekend. So
Nice, buddy. Real quick, I just want to say, the numbers, they don't look like a lot, but we're over 600 followers on Instagram now. We hit 500 like 3 days ago. So being up to 600,
yeah.
we might even be at 650 right now. I haven't had a look since
What are we at?
early
Let's get a
this
live
morning.
number. 647. You're actually 3 off.
We were at like 620 this morning. So obviously these numbers aren't crazy, guys, but the growth is there, and just thank you all so much if you followed us on social media, if you liked things, if you shared things, if you sent us clips, and please keep it coming. Anytime you guys share, like, follow, if you could just take the time to do that for us, I mean, it grows the pod so much more. Obviously the more listeners and the more engagement we get all across the board, the longer and the better we're going to be able to make this pod, and some more content in the future. We got some pretty cool content ideas coming soon here to do with some junior teams, so I'm really excited to get some of that going, and really excited for some of the guests we got coming on in the future here. I think winter break is going to be insane, like some of the interviews that we're able to pull in while guys have a little bit of time off. So I hope that the guys that we want to get the most right now are pretty busy. So hopefully that'll be a time where we can get a few. But regardless, if not, obviously today's a weird one with no interview. But after this, the interview should be right back to it. They're going to be rolling. So stay tuned for everything we got coming in the future. And again, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, like everything, share what you can or what you want to. Every bit helps so much. Follow on the TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Just, we're posting everywhere. So Instagram has been by far like our biggest platform, but if we could grow some of the other ones, that'll help too, especially with reaching, just more audiences and more people who want to hear about junior hockey. The coverage has been great this year, and it's been a lot of fun to do. So thank you all so much for the support you've already given. Be sure to listen to all our future episodes on your preferred streaming platform. Check out the videos of the interviews on YouTube, our clips, all of that good stuff. And thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Joey, thank you so much. Any last words?
No, I think you literally covered everything. Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Started off as a little bit of a joke. It's turned into kind of something fun, something we're excited to grow. So I think it'll be pretty interesting to see where this goes.
Awesome. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Every American deserves the right to fair housing, and Kamala Harris is working to make that right realized by us all. She learned firsthand how hard it is to work toward the dream of having a home. As California's Attorney General, Kamala Harris took on the big banks and Wall Street. And now, she's looking to give first-time homebuyers $25,000 for a down payment. This November, vote for the leader looking out for your home.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.